What is up, every pony? Welcome to MLP Podcast. For us tonight, we got Maleminous.
You sound like you want to fucking kill yourself, and I can't blame you. If I was you, I'd want to die too.
What is up, guys? Guess who remembered their password after 2 years? I'm back because we're witnessing a tale as old as time. It happens every time, without fail. Whether you're a Z-list internet celebrity or a multi-million-dollar NBA player, whenever you get even the slightest bit of clout, the slightest bit of money, everyone is after you for the most petty of reasons. Suddenly, you've always been a piece of shit and everyone's always done it. You've always done the most heinous of things and everyone's always known it. You know, all these people who were silent when you were broke, when you were poor, when you were unknown are suddenly coming out of the woodwork with receipts of gamer words you said 12 years ago, chat logs from 10 years ago. Sometimes you don't even have those. Sometimes you just make shit up. And the new target the internet has is a soul brother, SBN3, guy who I actually thought was black for like years. I don't know why. I mean, it's just the way he writes. It just seems like a black guy is writing it. I started getting questionable because of his lack of usage of the N-word in his scripts. But apparently he was just saving all his most juiciest of N-bombs for Skype and Discord calls. Because my guy likes to go in. But if you guys don't know him, he's the creator of Class of '09. It's a really edgy game. You've probably seen us play it, at least briefly, on the other channel, Maleminous Theater. It follows two teens going through high school in, oh my gosh, you guessed it, 2009. And yeah, it's pretty much exactly how you think it would turn out. It is a game that is critically praised by edgy teens too scared to make a phone call who self-insert as Nicole, the main protagonist, and edgy adults desperately wishing to relive high school so they can self-insert as Nicole. Or insert themselves into her. Or under her, apparently. From the weird fucking foot fetish dommy mommy shit that's going on in the third game. The series has a pretty simplistic formula. If you're in your mid-20s or late 20s, like me, being mid-20s, kind of in between, 27, alright, not that old, not on status yet, it's essentially the culmination of those 10-hour-long Skype conversations, foreshadowing, you had with your friends where it was like a competition to see who could be the most racist, most sexist, most ist of all time, where bullying people was the regular pastime, and your friends, be they from school or some online game, were honestly more abusive than any bully ever was. Honestly, in some cases, the game is literally quoting me bar for bar. And it's been like this forever. Something, gosh, I want to kill myself, something, I could use a Xanax, something, pedophile, something, Xanax. It's pretty much the formula. It's had that formula for the last two games, and the third game is no different. But apparently people could excuse the pedophilia. They could excuse the domestic violence. They could excuse the full-on display, the 41%. Blatant racism and homophobia. But the foot fetish stuff, that was too far. Slow down there, buckaroo, all right? We need to have a chat.
I bully these people so much off of the podcast, constantly making fun of them. They just, I don't know what it is, but I can't get them to fucking kill themselves. I've tried. I'm sorry.
I
so much.
You.
The main complaint that's getting passed around seems to be that the game is making people feel disturbed by the foot scenes, the scenes of domestic violence between the father and Jekka, who is the secondary character in the other two games, now being the primary character. Hence, it's called Class of '09, the flip side, because you're partly playing the opposite side of the second game, where you're playing as Jekka, who's the friend of Nicole, but the events don't actually line up, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, you know what you're getting into. You know what you're expecting when you're fucking buying this game. You're not expecting the Marvel Cinematic fucking universe with all the multiverse shenanigans. Regardless, people are getting hella triggered they are having mental breakdowns after playing the game. Some not even being able to last more than 2 minutes, literally living up to the meme. And collectively, it seems the world has forgotten that good writers are supposed to make you feel. So if you're actually having panic attacks from the dialogue between Jekka and her father, or you are disturbed and creeped out by the scenes that are supposed to make you feel disturbed and creeped out, that is what we call, good sir, good dialogue. It's a sign that not only the writing is on point, but the voice direction is as well. Most of the criticism is pretty antithetical to what the entire series has been about, and I shit you not, most are actually saying that they were fine with the racist stuff in the other game because it was funny. And it was funny. But now it's just too dark. Nothing is funny about Jekka sobbing because her dad is threatening to hit her, or Nicole putting her foot in Jekka's dad's mouth, or Jekka on a date with her teacher. And to those whiny bitch babies, I have to ask, did you even play the first games? Because all of this was in the first couple of games, from going on dates with your coaches to outings with your neo-Nazi photography teacher to take pictures with them, rampant pedophile jokes and actual pedophiles in there. It seems like anyone who's complaining about this game just collectively agreed to turn a blind eye to the first two that they were praising, that had everything that this one had, minus the foot fetish stuff. I'll be honest, I can't really defend the foot stuff. My man is a young Tarantino. For some reason, I don't understand if there's some sort of correlation between making the best shows possible and being obsessed with feet. This game even takes a bold stance of mentioning Dan, the man with the van, Schneider. Dan, hold her tighter, she's a fighter, Schneider, in it, while spending almost half of the 3-hour runtime, worshipping the feet of the ambiguously aged teenage girls. So, yeah. And for those of you guys too uncultured to get the Tarantino reference, Tarantino is one of the best writers of dialogue in cinematic history. If you love Sam Jackson, you love him because of the dialogue that he's given from Tarantino. This man made a scene where a woman pours tequila down her toes and makes some guy drink it by sucking on them. And he cast himself as the fucking guy who does that. Kind of like SB3, making a scene where the character Jeffrey licks and sucks on the feet of Jekka and Nicole, and he casts himself as Jeffrey. So, a little bit weird. But it's 2024. Every single content creator is zesty. Every content creator is weird as fuck. Everyone has some fucked up gay shit or other shit that's going on with them. So if you're going to really get up in arms about this from the game that's already been disturbing, that's already had topics similar to this, I mean, it's a little bit weird. You know what you're getting into. If this was the first game, totally get it. You bought it. You didn't like it. Fair enough. But, you knew what you were doing. However, there is some valid criticism, and I'm starting to get fucking red-pilled on this. You don't go to Twitter. Honestly, just don't go to Twitter in general, but you especially don't go to Twitter to hear some sort of actual substantive criticism of anything, let alone video games, because God knows that's a cesspool. You go to the Steam reviews, because while there's some drivel in there, there is some good points. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend that this game is perfect. It's definitely not, and it is kind of disturbing and hard to play through. Again, kind of the point. The fact this game is $15 for what is essentially not even a point and click adventure. There is no real gameplay here. It is a visual novel, and I've never got the appeal of classifying this as a game. Honestly, just make it a movie at this point. There's only 2 save points that you need to 100% the game. And while the entire paths that you can do are longer, there's a lot fewer of them, making your choices literally just not matter in the long. Nicole seems really out of character, being just straight up evil in a lot of scenes, being overly harsh, vindictive, murderous, which seems to be like a flanderization of her character from the first 2 games. The scenes with the dad between Jekka and dad's like abuse is honestly stale after the first initial shock value. It seems like he just kind of starts blowing up out of nowhere. There's a lot of unexplored territory. His wife divorces him. He talks about her a lot, but there's never a scene where Jekka goes running to her mom despite being scared about being thrown out of the house. There's just nothing ever mentioned about her. Aside from saying initially that she's happy because this means she gets like 2 Christmases, 2 birthdays, yada yada yada. These are all super valid points, and the game is definitely not as good and fleshed out as the other 2. But that's pretty much where it ends. If this game was like half the price, maybe even less, and they fixed up those issues, it would be just the same. Those are valid reasons. Another valid reason would be if the creator of it was actually fucking kids. That's the accusation that's getting thrown around because everyone's a fucking pedophile.
You're talking about 12-year-olds. 12, nigga.
I never said.
What do you mean? You did say multiple times.
You said that right now. All you said was not only 12-year-olds, but you're still including 12-year-olds.
Making a distinction that it wouldn't exclusively
But
be
like the 12-year-olds would be the rare ones. I wouldn't.
Holy shit.
Mass's laugh.
Sorry, I meant to add an amendment there. Unless you're a streamer, former president, movie star, singer, or pretty much anyone else of notoriety, then please, by all means, continue to be the largest streamer on the platform. Garner hundreds of millions of dollars for your presidency, and here's tens of $1,000,000 for the rest of you. Hell, there was even recently a Minecraft YouTuber who got exposed for having a sexual relationship with a minor. Surprise! Imagine my shock. But because other fucking drama YouTubers included lies in their other things, I guess, exaggerating some of the events. Don't know why you have to exaggerate pedophilia. It seems like a pretty already extreme thing. I don't know how bad your rent is, but you don't need to hype it up anymore. But because he made a video exposing the lies, while admitting that yes, he is in fact was in a sexual relationship with a minor, the entire comment section is stoy clapping for him, saying, "Wow, you really changed my mind. At first, I thought it was bad that you were raping kids, but you know, you may be a pedophile, but at least you aren't a fucking liar and rude." So I've given up on thinking that anyone actually cares about that. But hey, I mean, all these people have careers. All these people have great positive reactions to them. So what the fuck did Max, what the fuck did SBN3 do to garner a mixed review on a previously overwhelmingly positive series on Steam? He fucks adults, apparently. Allegedly. Yeah. That is the accusation that has garnered this man the pedophile title. He has sex with adult women. Now this is coming from Reddit, and it's coming from someone who claims to have been a classmate of Max 10 years ago in high school. I have no idea why someone who's not Max's friend would have any idea who he's sticking his dick into 10 years later, but apparently he claims to, and he says that he is having sex with quote-unquote freshly 18 and 19-year-olds. Goddamn 18 and 19-year-old minors, okay? Fucking pedophile. Again, I just want to just reiterate, we have people actually going after minors, but Max is allegedly just getting adults, and he's the bad person. And this is coming from Reddit. This guy has offered exactly zero proof. But still 38,000 likes on just one post. Tens of thousand likes across Twitter. All kinds of Reddit updates. Another person apparently claims that he once met him and he had a girl with him that looked very young, but he never asked her age. And it's like, nigga, honestly, if you thought you saw a person dating a child and did nothing about it for 10 years, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why did you wait until this man had something where the internet is now up in arms at him about, and you're just now coming out about it? Motherfucker, why would you sit on that? You saw him, you thought it was a child, and you said nothing, so you had no problems. When the first 2 games popped off and it was overwhelmingly successful, you were like, no, that's fine. That's fine. He's a pedophile. He's raping kids. Who's not raping kids? But the moment he gets the mixed review, we're coming out saying that he was raping kids, and now it's bad, and just bit your tongue that whole time. All right. Again, this is Reddit. No proof. He never even asked the girl's age. But this is enough that we're starting to add pedophile on this. People are coming out of the woodwork saying, like, I always knew that guy must have been weird. Someone on Reddit told me that he had someone next to him that he was dating that looked young. And another person said that he's been fucking 18 and 19-year-olds. So, yeah. Look, dude, is it creepy if someone was in their 30s and dating an 18 or 19-year-old? I could get behind that, but I'm gonna be honest, I really don't give a fuck. Listen, you can go buy a gun, statistically kill yourself with it, at 18. You can sign up to die for Israel by killing a bunch of brown children in some sort of Middle Eastern conflict at 18. You can do all kinds of stuff at 18. You can sign a loan for hundreds of thousands of dollars for your liberal arts degree, but God forbid you have sex with other consenting adults. Someone also went ahead and made a bullet point of all the Reddit accusations. Again, these have no proof. Calling them accusations, calling them allegations even, is extremely generous. But they said they wouldn't be surprised if he's accused of grooming. Because, yeah, again, no proof, but someone said somewhere he's fucking 18 and 19-year-olds, so I guess that's grooming. They say he's obsessed with calling people pedophiles. Again, have you played the game? The game uses the word pedophile more times than it uses the word the. So, yeah, I kind of believe that one. Self-evident. He's written an entire 3-game discography showing us his favorite words. The other allegation about the home round is feet stuff, which is just his fetish and literally whatever. And they say that he's inserting himself as both Jeffrey and Nicole. Literally, who the fuck cares? The only spicy accusation in here is that he bullies autistic people. Say that. When did I say there are no good lessons? What?
Let me finish a fucking goddamn sentence, you fucking bastard! You what? Fucking piece of shit! Fuck off!
Why are you so mad? What the fuck? He just like me, for real, for real. Listening to the audio, I'm not gonna lie, he's literally me. Like, on some... not even on some literally me, the Joker, fucking Patrick Bateman, fucking, feels thread on Safe for Word GIF or some shit, but like, he's literally me, bar for bar, verse for verse, okay? I was not nice as a kid. I was, but I wasn't. Like, I could be nice, and I often was nice. You know, if you go and you ask anyone, they'd say I'm a fucking angel. But a lot of my schools, our class was deemed to be bullies. We were looked at as being bullies. We had a lot of anti-bullying seminars and whatnot. Did I ever hit anyone? Only if they deserved it. Did I ever go out of my way to harass someone? No. But were there jokes told in between our cliques extremely harshly 100%. Probably the biggest issue with me and a lot of people from my generation is the lack of proper ways to express our emotions growing up. Like, if you were to not take a joke well, if you were unable to banter back, we smelt the blood in the water and your ass was getting flamed every single moment of every single school day because you just showed that you can't hang and everyone's gonna jump on you so that no one else jumps on them. I remember we had someone named Redacted in my middle school and he had a crush on a typically attractive girl, Stacy, if you would. An early bloomer, way out of his league. And actually decently nice too, so you get the whole package, looks, and actually a personality of someone that's not garbage, as far as I knew. Man, we bullied the fuck out of them. The whole school did. It's not even for good reasons. I can't remember all the stuff we said, but we would just rib on him constantly. Other people who weren't his friend would start rumors about him all the time, saying shit like he started a MySpace page dedicated to her. And yes, I know that just dated me hard as fuck, but yeah. Or that he jerked off to her in class, you know. Dumb shit that you do when you're 12. You're just making up shit. You're just chatting shit to chat shit, you know. Now, I knew his limits. We were friends. I would push him a lot. I would call his dad a terrorist all the time because he was brown and had a lot of guns. He wasn't even from the Middle East. It wasn't even close to that region. He was Korean, but it would make him spaz out, so I kept on doing it anyways. The jokes didn't have to make sense. It was all about your reaction to them. And because there were so many things that would make him spaz out, we would constantly hit those, and so would everyone else. Until one day, the popular guy, blonde hair, blue eyes, athletic, probably secretly homosexual, pushed a little bit too hard. Like, we were walking back from some field trip, back from school, and I don't know what he said to him. I don't remember what he said, but I will always remember the fucking look that he gave, because he stopped, just turned around and stared at the guy, and everything was like completely silent. Everyone was shook, everyone was froze, all our friends were frozen, and then he just turned back and walked away. And the rest of us were still there, fucking chilled, fucking frozen. You want to talk about aura? There was some fucking aura there. I imagine it is the aura that fucking Dylan and Harris radiated in 2001, though. All right, because like after a good few seconds, the only one to move was the jock light guy. Because actually, I don't even think he ever played sports, but yeah, he ran after him, like saying, hey, you know, I'm just joking. I'm just busting your balls. Redacted did not respond at all to that. And a few days later, Jock fucking died. He was driving. His brakes malfunctioned. He crashed and died on impact. Redacted knew two things. Guitars, which he was really good at and got made fun of for being good at. I don't know how we swung that one, but we did. And the second thing was cars. He was very knowledgeable about cars. He was a grease monkey. And yeah. This is not a tape recording saying that he did it. The school was extremely somber after that. We all learned an extremely valuable lesson about bullying and ostracizing others. And we never really had another incident like that. I am 100% fucking lying. Literally the next couple of months later, we had a new kid come in and he tried to sit at the table and everyone just got up, went to another table and continued talking like nothing. It was bad. The point is, the memes are true. You wouldn't survive a Modern Warfare 2 lobby. You wouldn't survive school back in the pre-2010s. We were not good people. We were fucking awful. We were terrible. It took us a long fucking time to learn how to properly express ourselves, communicate, and just not be terrible human beings to one another. Max and I are from the same generation, roughly. I'm 27. He's in his late 20s, probably early 30s. We both probably come from the same old school shit posting 4chan type environment, doing the same shit as messing with other people on Skype calls and Discord calls early in the days. The release audio from a decade ago has Max going in on some kid, pretty much acting exactly like Kyler or Skyler. It's awful. It's how we all talked back then, though. The attacks on this person were homophobic. They were ableist. The rhetoric was not acceptable by today's standards by any means. I would be embarrassed to have anything like this come out of my mouth in 2024. But it's important to understand the context of the time period where this behavior was relatively normal. I'm not trying to glorify all of this by telling the story or acting like how we were such huge fucking cool cyberbullies or something like that. It's pathetic, it's wrong, it's dumb, it's stupid. The guy getting roasted claims that he wasn't crying but laughing, which, like, yeah, okay, nigga, like, it sounds like you're tearing up a bit. I'm just saying. But regardless, using a decade-old clip to try to get someone now, it's just dumb. We aren't the same people we were back then. We were products of our environments. We were products of what was normalized at the time. The only difference between me and Max is my shit was publicly streamed, where I am acting unhinged in such an unacceptable just frankly offensive way. Some of it's lost of time, some of it's still up on archive sites. But I'm even intersplicing this audio here throughout these title cards. While the audio is reprehensible, holding on to this and releasing this at the time where Max is finally getting shit on, and you're mauling about this a decade later by your own admission, this is kind of sad. You've worded it like you were assaulted by Max, despite, again, claiming that you weren't crying, you were laughing, and you were attempting to banter back. And honestly, if you're bantering back and you're apparently laughing, I would have done the same thing of continuing to go in, because it seems like you're actually fine with it. Again, if you're saying you're laughing, no one's going to think that you're seriously affected by this. People joke about the group chat being leaked. They joke about how terrible it would be to have your Xbox Live voice chats coming out. But when they actually do, everyone starts pearl clutching. Like this wasn't normalized. Like Idubbz' humor wasn't super normalized, with him having millions of subs and getting millions of views, saying the racial slurs that he did and the homophobic slurs that he did. We're all pretending like all of this wasn't exceedingly normalized. I'm not here to defend the indefensible. I'm saying normalized specifically because it was normal. Normal is not good. Slavery in the 1700s and other 1400s or wherever was normal. Wasn't fucking good. And if you think an 18-year-old is the same person as they are at 28, then you just haven't lived long enough to know how unrecognizable a person can become.
Again, it's recorded.
And again, without my consent, which means you're a piece of shit.
You're the one who's murdering people.
I am not murdering people, Faith.
Not a rape. At least I'm not rude.
Yeah, at least I'm not rude.
So, in conclusion, Max is kind of an asshole. He's allegedly still doing this shit, which kind of cringe, mate. I haven't said the N-word with a hard R in a good month, I think. Alright, but I don't use it a lot anymore. I've toned down my vocabulary. I'm now going from, all kinds of slurs to removing pretty much every single one from my vocabulary. So if you're still doing that, that's kind of cringe, mate. But he's an amazing writer who's written a lot of great stuff. The context of his games hasn't really changed, and it just seems like it's just in fashion to hate him now. The things that he did 10 years ago, pretty fucking rude, pretty fucking trash, mate. I would say that's bad. Don't do that. There are legitimate reasons to have an issue with the game. The price is terrible. The runtime is decent, but the amount of actual choices is not. And then there's illegitimate reasons to hate the game. Saying that the man's like a cyberbully because of this 10-year-old video. Calling him a pedophile and a groomer because allegedly he dated 18 and 19-year-old girls, I guess. Saying that he's making light of Palestinian people's plight by having a route in the game where you end up getting sold to Palestinian sex slavers or something, when this game was taking place in 2009. And this is an actual thing that happens. And it's still probably happening in Palestine. I think people forget that the Middle East is still the Middle East. All right? Women don't exactly have rights there. The internet is going to hate who they're going to hate, and they're going to love who they're going to love. One day, you're going to be on top like Mr. Beast, and the next day, you're going to be dragged through the mud consistently. You could do the same thing that another YouTuber is doing, and that YouTuber could get praised for it, and then you're shit on. You could have someone like Dr. Disrespect in his 40s, married with kids, texting minors sexually, and he's forgiven and is still topping on YouTube live streams. He's the biggest live streamer on YouTube. And then you could have someone like Call Me Carson being 18, 19, talking to a 17, 18-year-old, and their career is just ended forever, and they're never allowed to come back. Caring about the opinions of people online is the #1 way to just make your life fucking miserable. If you're gonna hate Max, hate him for legitimate reasons. There's plenty of them. If you're going to shit on the game, shit it on for legitimate reasons. I don't even know what the purpose of this video is. No one who's gonna watch this video is realistically going to change their minds. If you are, you're probably already super malleable, and the next YouTuber that you watch that talks about this subject will also change your mind, probably right back. But I just saw some incredibly stupid stuff on the internet, and it was stupid enough, and it made me upset enough that I had to make a video on it. Max will be fine, the internet will forget, and apparently, allegedly, this was all a plan to make people not like his game. Which, honestly, fucking based. This game is filled with a bunch of Tumblr light individuals, fucking Redditors, and I don't think that's the fan base that Max exactly wanted to cultivate. Doesn't strike me as the type of guy to jive well with that, especially if his leaked calls are anything to go by. But he certainly isn't trying to gather a 4chan audience either. He's like me. We're in this weird in-between where we're not fucking Nazis, but we also hate soft fucking extreme leftists that can't take a fucking joke. Regardless, he'll be fine. He'll probably come out with another game, and people will either love it or they'll hate it for dumb fucking reasons, and nothing's gonna change that. I forgot how to end these videos. I haven't made a video like this in years, and I don't know if I will again. We'll see. If something funny happens on the internet, I will be there to laugh at it, either on Twitter, Kamala Willen, or I'll make a video. Till next time, if you guys actually want to keep up with my content and shit that we're doing, we're streaming all the time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, on the Molimus Theater channel. If you're trying to look for some pony content, we even still put it up on there, alright? We have animations, parodies, all kinds of fun shit. Go watch it, go give me money, and I will see you guys in the next one, in another 2 years, when I remember my password again.
One Faith. I'm pretty sure you know this.
I wouldn't
well, I'm pretty sure you don't know this because you're too fucking stupid. Recording people against their consent on Discord is against Discord's TOS.
No, it's
I reported
not.
your ass. Have fun.